What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Still a family, man. How is everyone doing? I hope everyone had a happy holiday, a Merry Christmas, and all that that means for some of you. Regardless of what you celebrate, I'm going to say happy holidays and Merry Christmas. Hope you guys are doing well. Didn't get a chance to talk to you guys after the game, so I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to wait a few moments, man, just to allow a few people to get up in here, allow a crowd to develop, so to speak, man, because I got some things to talk about. I got some questions for you guys as well. And yeah, I think this should be a pretty decent show. Not going to be too long of a show, man. I'm actually going to set a 30-minute timer so we can only do a half hour. Let me do it right now. Let me see. We've been streaming for about 2.5 minutes, so I'm going to set a timer for 25 minutes, give myself somewhat of a buffer. Hey, Siri, set a 25-minute timer, please. And there it is. So let's get to it, man. What's up to some of the early commenters? Like I said, I think we got about 30 or so people watching right now. I know that crowd would pick up, so I'm just going to waste a little bit of time and ask you guys a question. Well, actually, I might just, read to you my quick notations that I had on the game, even though I was unable to watch it in the comfort of my own home. I was at my brother's for Christmas, had a wonderful time there, and I was able to take notations on my phone, so I will read you guys that. Who do we have in here, man? Hugs LaDon, TJ, my man Wide Diggy, my man CT Pittman, my man Cut Boy's in the building as well. What's up, Steeler Cards? What's up, Jack Bauer? Rajan is in the building. My good brother Kenyon is in the building. 12 gauge Hemi in the building. Who else is in here? Jerry JWA is in the building. He says the Steelers got me stressed. Yeah, you're ahead of me a little bit, Jerry. I'm going to ask that question here in a moment. And Eric McDuffie in the building as well. Anybody else as far as early commenters before I get to my 1-2-1-2? No, that's about it. So let's dive into it, guys. So what I'm going to talk about really quick, man, as I allow more people to come in here, I'm just going to read you the comments that I had on my phone. Of course, I couldn't do it the way I normally do it on my MacBook. I usually have my, laptop with me. But I am going to read to you guys what I was notating during the game. We already got Wonder Bread. We got Wonder Bread. Shout outs to my good brother Wide Diggy, man. I appreciate the donation. He says, if the Steelers end up going to Houston and lose that game, I'm going to hop on Tomlin must go train. Also, the DC must go, and keeping him was a mistake. I'm not mad at how anybody feels, Wide Diggy, about the coaching staff and or Tomlin. People have a right to feel that way after so many years. Let's just call it what it is. I don't know why the donation alert is still there. That's weird. Hold on, guys. I don't know why that's still showing up there. Strange. Let me see if I can fix it. Hold on. I actually happen to have the overlay settings up on my computer. Let me see what's going on with that. I don't know why it's doing that. I don't know. For some reason, I'm right there in the corner. It's weird. That is very strange. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Hold on, guys. See if I can fix it here. There we go. I was able to remove it. All right, that was a little strange there. But yeah, Wide Diggy, anybody on that train after all these years, I completely understand. So I'm not going to challenge that whatsoever. But I will talk a bit about the coach and the coaching staff and get you guys' opinion. That's kind of where I'm going to go tonight with this brief recap of the game, guys. Again, you guys know I didn't do it right after the game. I was at my brother's house in Virginia enjoying family festivities. So let me just run through the little quick notes that I had, guys, and I'm going to read through them, and then I'm going to go right to my thoughts about the Steelers in this current day. First drive, Steelers got the ball first. The Steelers start in shotgun, 7-yard pickup to Muth. The very next play, they run the ball with Najee Harris for 1 yard. And I'm pretty sure, if my memory serves me correctly, I'm pretty sure we were probably running out of 12 personnel. It's a 1 yard gain. Then it was a 3rd and 2. Russell gets sacked, fumbles, but recovers. And the Steelers go 3 and out. And then we gave up a 33-yard punt return. Cannot do that. I just cannot do that. Let's see. First defensive drive. We give up a run of 8 yards on first down. The Steelers were then faced with the 4th and 1. The Chiefs were able to convert. The Chiefs then score on that drive with a quick pass to Worthy. They missed the extra point, but just like that, Chiefs got a short field off of a extremely good punt return. I think they said the punt was net 38 or something like that, and he returned it 33. Short field. And the Chiefs went right down and scored. What I had for key moments, like I said, guys, I'm just going to read through this quickly, and then we're going to get to it. Let's see. Okay, I see you guys are already discussing something that I'm talking about. I'm going to talk about which player are they pointing to. I'm going to get there. So real quick, guys, key moments. The Steelers offense go 3 and out back-to-back. Mark Robinson forced a fumble on that second punt, but the Steelers unable to recover. The Steelers then give up a 3rd and 11. The next play, Mahomes hits Watson deep all the way down to the 17-yard line. I wrote here, literally, Jackson got smoked on the play. Mahomes finds Watson again 2 plays later for a touchdown, in which he scored the touchdown in front of James Pierre. At that point, it's 13-0, Kansas City Chiefs. Steelers come back with a huge drive, but the touchdown gets called back with the hold by Washington. And then Russ throws the pick into the end zone on the very next play. Well, not the very next play, but I think it was later in that drive. And it was just, as we found out, it wasn't all the way on Russell Wilson, but I will talk about that in a moment. But I did write that the defense was able to force a 3 and out. After that, Patrick Queen also dropped the tipped pick, which would have given us a short field. Later on, the Steelers come back down and they get the score after a 3 and out that they put up against the Kansas City Chiefs. It was an 11-play, 72-yard drive. Steelers able to finally keep the Chiefs from scoring, and it was aided by a holding call on the Kansas City Chiefs. Then the only thing else, a couple other things I notated on my phone. I put Arthur Smith calls a run to Cordero Patterson on 3rd and 3 right before the end of the half. I wanted to make note of this. That was a horrible play call. But the Steelers were bailed out with 12 men on the field. Steelers unable to do anything with the drive. And the Steelers did force a 3 out on defense right after that. So the defense was hanging in there just a bit. Just got sloppy later on. Second half, Chiefs come right out and march down the field. The Steelers somehow were able to hold the Chiefs to a field goal. At that point, it was 16-7. The Steelers go down and match the field goal, but it's just a field goal. And I put that in parentheses here on my phone. Just a field goal. At that point, we're playing a field goal game with the Chiefs. Cannot do that. Score goes to 16-10, and at that point, the Steelers are in it. But then the Chiefs march right back down the field again. They finish the drive with a score, and the next drive after that, Pat Fryermuth fumbles, and the Chiefs finishes the drive with the touchdown to Travis Kelce. And that was pretty much the story of the game, guys. And let's dive right into what I want to get to, guys, while I still have time. One thing I wanted to talk about, man, as I heard Russell Wilson point this out, and, you know, if you guys care about social media, I saw that Terrell Owens was calling George Pickens out as well. But Russell Wilson did briefly say it in his presser. He said, on that interception, you know, they were expecting George Pickens to run a vertical to carry the safety, and then he would have got Pat Fryermuth basically in a one-on-one down the seam. Russ still decided to throw it, and to the naked eye to all of us, it definitely looked like 3 people were in the vicinity. The safety is able to come over and get the pick. Now, I didn't think that was the best decision. I understand if that's what you were trying to do, if you were anticipating the safety going with George Pickens, but also it makes me also question Russ just a little bit. Just a little bit. Was that just your only option, right? Were you predetermining that we're going to get Fryer? You know, sometimes, listen, let me be honest. I've never played quarterback, but I do understand the way quarterbacks work. You know, sometimes, and a lot of times, you do have a pre-snap read, right? When you call a play and when they say, get this guy touches, get that guy touches, there are certain plays that are designed for a certain guy. So that play may have been designed for Pat Freiermuth against the coverage that they saw. And Russell just felt like, I'm going to throw up 50-50 ball. Freiermuth has done good for us in these situations, and the safety able to come over there without George Pickens definitely made it a tougher throw. Need to go back and watch that film. I'm actually going to look at the all 22 today. It's already out. I'm going to look at it later tonight, and I want to see what other routes we had going in that situation, because sometimes, like I told you guys, Arthur Smith has a problem, man, with just calling a lot of these downfield routes. So I want to go back and look at that play and see what the other routes were doing. But if George Pickens did not run his route correctly, that is a problem. That is a player issue. Another thing I want to talk about. Many of the players have seemed to voice their opinion about everyone not doing their job. That's what these guys are doing. They're not saying names, but they have openly said everybody needs to do their job. Do your job. That's what they're saying. Shout outs to Deshaun Elliott, man, being very candid in his post game and saying, look, we can't have guys wide open. People got to do their job. Stop playing hero ball. Cam Hayward kind of echoed the same sentiments. TJ Watt echoed the same sentiments, and I don't know what other players. Mark Caboli is saying it seems like the players are hinting towards there being an issue with someone on defense. And what a lot of the media is doing is what you guys are doing here in the chat. You know, we're trying to guess who it is. We'll never know. I tend to lean more so into the direction I think that C.T. Pittman as well as Kenyon are leaning towards. I think it may have something to do with Cam Sutton. Who is this? Hugladon also says, I heard Sutton is sitting by himself in the locker room. Okay, possible. It does seem to be Cam Sutton, and let me tell you the reason why it seems to be. I'm going to give you educated speculation, right? I have no facts here. I'm just trying to use some logic. And let me again say I have no facts, so I can't say for sure. But it seems like these problems really started when Sam Sutton. Okay, let me excuse myself, guys. I keep saying Sam. There's a guy in that area, well-known basketball coach and trainer that I take my guy to, my son to, and his name is Sam Sutton. So that's why I'm confusing these names. Cam Sutton. It seems like these problems started mostly when he started to get on the field more. How many games have we seen, guys, in the last few weeks where it looks like Cam is always looking around or seems to be out of place or seems to be just in la-la land? So that would be my educated guess, only because it seems like number 20, as Y Diggy says, it seems like it is number 20 because it only makes sense. Our defense wasn't exposed this bad before he was playing. And when you look at the visual evidence, it does appear that it's him. Some people are thinking it's Beanie Bishop. Some people are thinking it's Minka. Guys, we have no way of knowing. I'm just saying use a little bit of logic. Could very well be Cam Sutton or number 20 as he is sounding like he's going to be from this point. But the point that I want to make is the players are saying themselves, guys need to do their job. There shouldn't be these communication issues. I love what Deshaun Elliott said. Deshaun Elliott said, yo, this type of stuff shouldn't be happening at week 16, 17. He said this stuff wasn't happening before. Why is this happening right now? What is going on? People saying guys got to stop playing hero ball and do their own, do their job. Cam Hayward said, listen, if 10 guys are doing their job right and one guy is off, The whole play is messed up. We saw on the TV tape on one of those touchdowns, one of those plays, both it was I think it was Roberts and Queen, or it might have been Queen and Wilson. They taking the same guy and completely left the middle of the field open. Communication issues. Now, this is what I want to get to, guys. Because though I definitely understand my man Y Diggy's sentiment about if the Steelers go and lose in Houston, if we go to Houston, and you might be ready to get on the train of saying Tomlin must go. Here's a couple things that I want to say. He's not going to get fired, so we got to deal with it for 3 more seasons, right? Number 2, I want to say this as well. Tomlin aside, right? Whoever the head coach is, I'm always going to stick to this principle in my mind. Some of you disagree. Some of you might agree. I judge coaches on coach things that I could see. Clock management, challenges, play calling, decisions, like going forward on said 4th downs or what have you. Those are the things that I judge coaches on. Again, play call, personnel utilization, formation utilization, challenges, timeout utilization, going for it, things of that nature. Execution, I look at players. Because let me just say this, guys. Most of y'all in this chat y'all are watching Hard Knocks, right? Let me get a count of how many of you guys have watched the in-season Hard Knocks. I'm going to wait for a moment. How many of you guys have watched the in-season Hard Knocks? Another thing that I can blame Mike Tomlin for is his selection of coordinators. Very valid point. Needs to do a better job with that, perhaps. Stop promoting guys from within. Even though Arthur Smith was an outside hire, he's mostly promoted guys from within. So one thing that you could look at Tomlin at and say, maybe you don't like as much as his current belief system and what he thinks can still get the job done. How many of you guys are watching the in-season Hard Knocks? All right, so DeRice Martin says yes. Walter's not watching it. Sonny Rothmiller is watching it. Y Diggy's watching it. David Britt is watching. C.T. Pittman is watching. Jack Bauer is watching. And I already know my good brother Kenyon is watching. So let me ask y'all this question. Maybe even some of you that didn't comment. After watching Hard Knocks and seeing some of the inside of how coach gets down, how he instructs, how he teaches, how he emphasizes things, how he calls out stuff like the episode when he was like, Herbig, we're going to need you to go against, I forget what they was calling him, but when we played Cincinnati the first time, he was like, listen, Alex Highsmith went off a couple seasons ago. That's why they went and replaced that guy with this guy. All of the intricate stuff that you're seeing, the game plan and the film watching, him calling out certain things and having and telling the players how they need to be ready. After watching that, can you guys sit here and tell me that you still don't believe he's a good coach? I'm talking about in theory, in terms of game plan, how he's instructing the players, how he appears to be on top of the film study, the X's and O's even. Have any of you guys come away with a better appreciation of just him as the coach? Not even just, again, take the name off of it, but just seeing how he's getting down. Even me being a person who, I like Mike Tomlin, I text Kenyon and Tony was like, yo, man, I like what I'm seeing. It's certain these little certain details and intricate stuff that I'm seeing that I'm like, yo, man, I like that from coach. The world saying that he's killing bodying the episodes better than the other coaches, even though the Ravens coach said something that I really liked, their defensive coach. What you guys say? Let me see. Tomlin is a good coach, but the defense is poor. Okay, that's fair. David Britt says absolutely. Okay. Jack Bauer says I'm perfectly fine with Mike Tomlin. Y Diggy says I think he's a good coach, but things has run its course at the end of the day. And I don't disagree. Listen, this is his 18th season. I don't disagree with anybody who feels like it's run its course. But I want to tell y'all something. Who is this? Young Eli Beat says Tomlin is a great coach. I blame the players, especially the O-line. Okay. Still Raid says it's about winning championships, not regular season records. Hey, I'm with you, my man. But again, the Pittsburgh Steelers has won the most championships. I'm just saying it doesn't come easy. That is not excuse for Mike Tomlin. I'm just saying we do have high expectations in Pittsburgh. No argument there. But I think the expectations cloud our vision a little bit. Let me say this. You're hearing the players publicly say what's wrong. They're talking about communication on the field. They're talking about guys not doing their job. So what I'm about to say here is not about Mike Tomlin, whether you like him or not. A lot of what we're seeing is the players. What can I blame the coaches for in some of these games? Play calling, particularly offensive. Whoever had anything to do with it, if it was more than just Arthur Smith. Play calling, predictability, right? And you can say that even on the defensive side of the ball sometime, even though you have to play zone sometimes, you have to play man sometimes. Maybe the philosophy, I could put that on coaching, the philosophy of how they want to play the defense. That's fair. But the bottom line to me, and again, somebody in the comments said that the buck stops with Tomlin's bottom line. Okay, that's fine. Again, me as someone who's played sports and knew I was responsible for what I had to do, I put a lot of this on the players. You have to execute. The offensive line played horribly in this game. Let's start there. We can blame Russell Wilson all we want because some of y'all have turned y'all back on Russ too. But let me tell you something. Can I be honest and candid? I don't know this to be a fact. I'm just judging off of what I saw. I don't think we had 10 wins with Justin Fields as the start of the entire season. Just my opinion. Justin Fields did some good things with his legs, but Justin Fields still has a ways to go when it comes to surveying the field and, going through reads and such. Has a ways to go. I don't think any of us can deny that. So our only option at this point was Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson elevated the offense. The offense started to click a little, right? But the offense is not consistent. And we saw a real bad display of it. I'm going to cut my timer off because I'm going to go a little longer. Real bad display of offense in this past game. The offensive line was, pressure. Gave up 5 sacks. Russ had pressure in his face almost every time he dropped back. That's on the players. Defensive miscommunication. Again, this is just my opinion. I'm not going to debate any of you guys or gals. Just my opinion. You can criticize a coach for the play call. Fair. Whatever you believe, that's fair. Once the ball goes hut, players have to execute. That's it. Too many times in that defense, we saw guys out of position, not knowing where they're looking like they don't know where to go. That's on the players. That's just my personal opinion, guys. You can't put everything on coaching staff. You can disagree with the coaching staff's philosophy. Fair. I don't like, even on defense, I'm going to say Tomlin and Terrell Austin, I don't like how we play a lot of trail. I don't like that. We give up a lot of space on the outside. with our corners. I don't like that. But guess what? I was saying that even when we won the game, was I not? Even when we were winning, I was still saying I still don't like how we do this. Because I don't change like just off of the outcome of a game. It's certain things I don't like. It's certain things I don't like. Even in a win. But I don't see enough people do that. I don't see enough people stick to what they really believe about a player and or coach and or coordinator. It's like, y'all, every week is a difference. We lose a game, then everything goes out the window. Oh, this team is the worst team. I'm like, I just can't do it no more, man. It almost feels like it's pointless even, reporting on it because we don't take things rationally. Like I said, and I'm willing to hear some of you guys in the chat. I want to know, like, specifically where Mike Tomlin lost this game or the last three. Him specifically, because everybody seems to say it was him. A head coach can't give up sacks. A head coach can't fumble. A head coach can't throw interceptions. A head coach can't not run a route. I know the cliche is always the buck starts with the head coach. I get it. But when you can see with your own eyes, listen, I promise y'all, man, do yourself a favor and get access to the All 22 and start watching some of the player execution. Head coach, defensive coordinator was not the reason why Dante Jackson got smoked. Deep. Smoked. What was he doing on that fly route to Watson? What was he doing? That's all I'm saying. I fully respect anybody that feels like the time has run its course. I'm with you, okay. 18 years is a long time. But I'm just telling you that we are a fan base that when the day comes and Mike Tomlin leaves and let's say the next coach comes in, let's say the Steelers has 3 consecutive losing seasons, y'all would lose y'all's mind. Y'all would lose your mind. I'm telling you what I know from watching y'all. I've been rocking with y'all for years. Y'all would lose your mind. And that is not even a tip of the hat to Mike Tomlin for not having a losing season. Yeah, it don't matter now. Right now, we want to win some playoff games and potentially win a Super Bowl. But let a new coach come in and we start tanking. You're going to lose your mind. So all I'm saying to you guys is be upset. We want to see another championship, but be more rational. I promise you, it will make you sleep better at night. When you understand what's going on. Again, fans, my lovely family, we came into this saying that the Steelers was going to go 9-8. Most of y'all said that. Most of y'all said they were going to be 10-7. A good amount of y'all didn't like Justin Fields or Russell Wilson. But somehow, and I put this on X yesterday, just laughing and joking. I said, I love my Steeler family, but this is how we think. We expect nothing. Then we expect everything. Then we expect nothing. That's how we act. Nobody, it might be a handful of people that might have. Y'all remember Steel Jedi? I hope Steel Jedi is still around, man. Steel Jedi used to come in here and comment all the time, and he used to be like, hey, man, Steelers going to the Super Bowl. Man, why is that thing echoing? He used to say stuff like, oh, man, the Steelers are going to go 13-0, and for the first, and then they're going to go. He had these lofty expectations. Outside of him, it ain't a whole lot of people that I know when we start the season, y'all talk about we going to the Super Bowl. Hold on, I'll get back to my point. Round of applause to CT Pittman. I appreciate you, brother, for that don't know. This part. And before I read this, I'm gonna ask you guys that watch me and enjoy this content, because I do the same for y'all. Can y'all stop saying when somebody is saying something opposite of what you're saying that they're making excuses? Why is that always a narrative that, oh, we're making an excuse for the quarterback? Remember Kenny Pickett? Oh, he's making excuses for Kenny Pickett. Oh, he's making excuses for Matt Canada. Oh, he's making excuses for Mike Tom. Why can't it just be an opinion based off of what you observe, whether we agree or disagree? And I'm going to say why I said that in a second. CT Pittman says, that's why when the schedule came out, we knew we had to stack wins early because the latter part of the schedule was brutal. Also, I think players weren't fully healthy and rushed back after 2 losses. All I'm saying is we don't live in reality, man. Yes, we have not won a playoff game since we went to Kansas City and won a 18-16 victory on a fluke. You know what the fluke was? When Ben Roethlisberger threw that ball to Antonio Brown and that thing popped up, and 2 DBs right there, and AB had the wherewithal to catch it and still house it. That game. Yes, I'm in agreement with y'all. However, ain't none of them seasons that I can confidently say we lost because of the head coach. None of them. Hold on, we got some more, don't know. Oh, man, my good buddy, my man SGN in the building. His team is doing well, man. He's a Packers fan. What's up, brother? Thank you for the Wonder Bread. Look at this. Look at this. Look at SGN asking a question that's going to take me to my next point. Who's the Steelers quarterback next year? Donald, Geno, Russ, Fields, someone else? You know what the common denominator has been over the last, 6-7 years? Look at the teams that are thriving in the AFC and the NFC. Look at the teams. What's the common denominator? Young, good franchise quarterback. I'm going to just name a few. Even though some of y'all might not include this guy, but I would. Let's go with, why can't I think of his name now? Y'all know who I'm talking about. Who's the Lions quarterback? Why his name is slipping my Jared Goff. You can put him in that mix. But more specific, Jalen Hurts. Justin Herbert. Lamar Jackson. Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen. Joe Burrow. Even though they haven't done well this season, they've gone to a Super Bowl and an AFC championship within the last 6-7 years. Now let's look at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Aging Ben Roethlisberger, Kenneth Pickett, Duck Hodges, Mitch Trubisky, Mason Rudolph, Justin Fields. Question mark. If he. And then Russell Wilson, aging veteran. And most people at the beginning of the season didn't know, had no idea which guys, who's it going to be? Who gives us the best shot? And some of y'all argued both sides of the coin. My point is, outside of everything else and all of the other woes that we have, that is one common denominator that the Steelers have not had the luxury of having. And look how long it's taken Josh Allen to even get to a point where they're thinking Super Bowl or perennial playoff team. How long has he been in the league now? Was it 7? Is it 7 years? Something like that? How long has Lamar been in the league? And they just keep getting there, ain't winning nothing. Shout outs to Lamar and the Ravens. I'm just saying they haven't even won yet. But how many years has he been the starter? Balling, but keeping them in the conversation. My Patrick Mahomes is the ultimate. The one who's actually broke through and he's got chips and he's in his 8th season. But what I'm saying is that is a big piece of the pie for the Pittsburgh Steelers, even before defense, offensive line and all that. We haven't even had a franchise quarterback to build around, but somehow, again, this is not about Mike Tomlin and his winning seasons and the playoff record, but it's putting it in perspective. Perspective. He's done all that with these halfway quarterbacks in the last 7 years. That's including aging Ben Roethlisberger. The truth of the matter is, and I saw somebody say this the other day, and I cannot disagree. The Steelers are in a real rebuild state, guys. They really are. And somehow they're staying afloat and giving us hope. I promise y'all I ain't mean to make that rhyme, but rapper brain. They staying afloat and giving us hope. Think about it. Rookie quarterbacks having to come in and play early because a veteran in the Mitch Trubisky who didn't pan out, Mason Rudolph that never panned all the way out. They have stayed afloat. They staying afloat and giving us hope. We sitting here now pissed. Let me explain it to y'all again. We in our feelings because this Steelers team just lost to the Philadelphia Eagles, the Baltimore Ravens, which you got to always think it's going to be a split. Oh, by the way, everybody's talking about, but we beat them 7 out of 8. Yeah, 7 out of 8, we beat them. We ain't scared of Baltimore. Look at the quarterbacks we did it with. We have overachieved. And yet, I still said, hey, man, we probably split with Baltimore if we lucky. So we go to Baltimore, a more talented team with a franchise quarterback, okay, fighting for stuff that's on the line for them more than us. And then we play the Kansas City Chiefs, which, oh, by the way, they had something on the line too, clinching the number 1 spot. We in our feelings because this team was unable to beat 3 of the better teams in the league. Sure, you could be disappointed because some of these games, guys, I felt like we beat ourselves a little bit. We did. Where's that offense, man, that was cooking? Where's that? We kind of beat ourselves a little bit. So I'm disappointed just like y'all. But what I'm saying is we be putting lofty expectations on teams that ain't got no business in the conversation. You think I'm lying? I said at the beginning of the season, check the facts. We're not winning the Super Bowl this year, folks. You guys asked me what was my expectation. Matter of fact, y'all asked me, what would you consider a successful season? How much better do you think we will do this season? I said, well, this is what I'm expecting. We'll be a little better. You would expect with having Russell Wilson at the helm, if that's what they're going to go with, we'll be a little bit better. We'll get back to the playoffs and perhaps win the first round. That was what I said in the beginning. And we may do it. We may not. Oh, by the way, this might be another one and done. It just might be. But what I'm saying, guys, is I always try to have perspective. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. I'm not trying to change y'all's mind. I'm not in the business of doing that. I won't attempt to do that no more ever. But I at least owe you guys enough for y'all to know what I'm thinking. Y'all can disagree with me, hate what I'm saying, or love what I'm saying. But that's why I always come from the perspective that I do, because I try to keep it in perspective. I'm just as disappointed as you. I could call my wife down here right now and say, yo, babe, tell him how sick I was when we lost. Even though I said we were going to lose, I'm still sick because it's 16-10 at the half. If our defense showed up just a little bit, we may have been able to get it done, but the offense was kaput. So I'm not even going to beat the defense up as much as I want to, because, yeah, we blew some big plays, and once Kansas City blitzed us, they blitzed us. But the offense produced 10 points. 10 points. One of the key things that I said on Tuesday had to happen is we needed to score. We did not. Execution, folks. You can blame the head coach. You can blame the coordinators. But when the rubber hits the road, from what my eyes see when I watch the 22, a lot of this, along with play calling, but a lot of it is lack of execution by the players. Your cornerbacks are Dante Jackson, Corey Trice, James Pierre. And even when JPJ is healthy, he's Mr. Grabby Grab. You see what I'm saying, people? Our talent ain't even crazy. Which actually goes to the point I made Tuesday. If this team doesn't produce turnovers and get sacks, what happened yesterday happens. We don't have a good defense that just gets stops. Y'all understand the difference, right? We don't get off the field. Y'all understand what I'm saying? We don't have a good defense. We have an opportunistic defense. But I've been saying it since probably week 5. We give up too much explosion. Way too much. That's just what it is. Y'all feel me? So that's why I speak from this perspective. So I just ask y'all, if y'all really rock with me and you love me the way y'all say y'all do, stop saying the nonsense. Oh, you're just making excuses for Mike Tomlin. No, I'm not. I don't make excuses for player, coach, coordinator, nothing. I'm always going to give it to you the way I view it. And when I do that, I put it in its proper perspective. And I'm also open to be corrected. Because there's been times where I've said something about a player, and then I see something else, or somebody else might chime in and say, nah, actually, this is what happened on that play. Da-da-da-da. Oh, no, well, you know what? You're right. When I look at it again, you're right. That's me. So please stop doing that. I know it's been since 2016, but guys, I kicked it real with y'all last week. When you look at the teams that we have marched into the playoffs with since then, it ain't hard to believe that they been one and done. Okay, you look at this team that you've watched for the last 11 days. I'm going to give y'all a real-time example. Look at the team that we just watched in the past 11 days. Is it hard to believe that that team may be one and done this season? Huh? From a talent perspective. 2 rookies on the offensive line, a second-year player that's still trying to get it going. Dan Moore has been okay, but some of y'all hate him. Yet, y'all expect them to not give up sacks. See, that's where y'all mind is twisted. You can say you don't like this player. You can say we don't have talent here and talent there, but y'all expect us to win the Super Bowl. How is that possible? I'm just being candid and real with y'all tonight, man. That's all. Still love y'all. Hope y'all still love me. I know some of y'all probably hot as a firecracker right now. Man, Sim don't know what he talk about. That's fine. We can have a difference of opinion. But I would like to think that I'm kicking some real talk here. Joe Mannix has a good point right there. We might not win again this year. But it wouldn't be a surprise to me. Because some reason, against the Ravens this second time. Oh, no, I'm not even going to say the second time. Can I remind y'all? Testing, 1, 2, testing. Can I remind y'all that we didn't score a touchdown in the win against the Ravens? And we only scored 18 points? Ain't much more to be said. These 3 games should have shown you guys that this team is not ready. I'm not talking about coaching staff. The talent. Again, yes, you got to toss a lot on the coaches, of course. But I told y'all, I look at coaches for game plan, scheme, play calling, decisions during the game, challenges, timeouts. Execution is on said player. Go watch the 22. It will blow your mind when you see some of the missed blocks, when you see some of the lack of vision at times from Najee Harris. Oh, here's another coaching one I'll throw at y'all. Coach T, I heard you say that we can't keep doing the same thing and changes are going to be made. Here's a change that needs to be made. Here's something that I argued against before, and like a real man, not saying that, being negative, I'm saying standing in my own too and being a man about it. I admitted to y'all Tuesday and I said, you know what? Some of y'all said Jaylen Warren probably should start. I think I'm on that train now. So I'm even more on that train tonight after watching what happened yesterday. It's time for him to be the guy who starts the game. Because this offense struggles so badly in the run game, he's the one that seems to give us a spark because he's a quick hit. He's a hit it and go. He finds the hole, decisive, quick decisions, hard to tackle because it's low center of gravity. Speedier guy as far as quickness. Runs tough as nails. But he's the one that's going to hit and go. He's not going to dance. He's not going to hesitate. Warren has been more productive yards per carry than Najee. That's not a knock on Najee. I'm just talking about the style of play. So, yes, I agree with what some of you guys were saying earlier in the season. I still think you keep, I want both to play, but I think it is time for Warren to start us off because maybe he will give us a better spark, especially if Arthur Smith is going to just stay in that same script and he is not going to write. I mean, if you ain't going to change nothing, then you might as well get the guy that might get a better production for you. Hold on, guys. Got to apologize for my wife. I told her I wasn't going to be long tonight and I just got into a zone. I'm going to give y'all like 3 more minutes, but that's what it is, guys. That's what it is. This team is just not executing, man. They're just not. And the players are saying it. Y'all don't listen to me. Listen to them players. They saying it. They are saying it. Again, you may have your issues with certain approaching and stuff, from the coaching staff. That's fine. I'm not talking about just that. But what I can say confidently, at least my 100% opinion, even the way we have approached these games is not the reason why we're losing. Maybe with the offense not producing as well because Arthur Smith, it just takes too long to adjust. I'll give you that. But a lot of it is lack of execution. It's just that simple, man. And this team is not overly talented in the key spots. All year, y'all been talking about we need a number 2 receiver. All year, we've been talking about Dante Jackson has 5 interceptions, yes, but they haven't been quality interceptions. He's been a benefactor of overthrows or tips or bad reads. Give him credit for making the pick. But remember the one Jalen Daniels threw to him? He had no business. Daniels, they had no business throwing that. I'm just saying. Just saying. From a talent perspective, we ain't there yet. But we've been able to stay afloat. So that's just what it is, guys. And I guess you give Tomlin credit for that. I know it's a hot topic and people hate it, but he is mostly the reason why we're in this position that we're in, and we keep thinking we're going to do something even with less talented teams. Somehow the coach puts it together. I don't know how he does it with some of the talent, man, and lack thereof. We have good guys in certain spots, but we always seem to be a little piece away. And that just is what it is. And I think Omar Khan will get the, somebody just said, Sonny says Omar Khan needs to get called to the office too. I think Omar gonna put it together, man. They're gonna put it together, guys, because they have been doing it. So, but again, man, we still got questions at the quarterback spot beyond this year. So I just try to be as real-time perspective as I can be. I'm going to read a couple comments and then I'm out. Caleb Long says, people are forgetting the point, but we dropped 2 games we should have. Yeah, Dallas and Indy, yeah. If we didn't, we would have the division. Those are games we're notorious for losing under the Tomlin era. But see, here's the thing, Caleb. This is just where I always disagree with that statement. And I could say this about every coach in the league. I don't understand why people say the coaches didn't have them ready to play. They prepare the same way every week. I'm honestly going to say it is a coincidence, in my opinion. Coach Cowher had the same problem. He did it too. Lost games he should have won, lost championship games, and had losing seasons. That whole under the such and such coach's era is overblown to me. And put any coach's name on that. I think sometimes it's overblown. I would like to say to you guys, I think we know what bad coaches look like. The Pittsburgh Steelers have not had one. And they've only had 3. They have not had a bad coach. I think a lot of times that's scapegoat, man. It's a scapegoat answer. Remember who was the starting quarterback in that game? That's when we weren't putting up offense. And it came down to the last play. Very well could have won that game against Dallas. Very well could have won that game against Indianapolis. But again, we were not producing points at the time. And again, the reason why I'm saying I can't put that on the head. The offense was just not producing. Justin Fields was just not being a full quarterback. Again, I will shake everybody's hand and I will just say agree to disagree. I just think this is always my statement. We give credit too much to the coach when they win and credit too much to the coaches when they lose. We just do. People do it. It's human nature to do that. Way too much credit for wins and way too much credit for losses. Because the craziest thing that people say, oh, he had them ready to play this week. The team can win by 1 point. Oh, had them ready to play. They ready to play every week. Again, go watch Hard Knocks. That should change your mind about whether or not our current head coach has the team ready to play. Go watch it. Don't listen to me. Just go watch it and tell me if your opinion is still the same that he don't have them ready to play each and every week. It comes down to execution. But that's it. What else y'all got, man? One last one. Thank you, Sim, for saying the truth. This team does not have the talent, but we do have the coach. We were 10-3 despite the roster. We won with Justin Fields despite him being his quarterback play. We have some stars. Yeah, man. And that's the thing, guys. But y'all gonna kill me for this, but we gotta be patient. We rebuilding. And I've always told y'all the biggest mark on Tomlin's era, that my biggest disappointment was the Killer Bee era. Because anytime you have an offense that is leading the league, The number one offense, you supposed to come out of that era with some Super Bowls. At least one. And our defense was just horrible. So for that, I blame Mike Tomlin, Keith Butler, Kevin Colbert, everybody. Because we just didn't assemble talent enough around the Killer Bees to play adequate defense. That is the biggest stain on Mike Tomlin's career, in my opinion, was, wow, with that type of talent, you got to get you one. Other than that, I have no beef with Mike Tomlin's career as a Pittsburgh Steelers head coach. Other than the obvious, everybody expecting the championship every year. I'm sorry, I just don't have any other beef. That's just where I'm at with it. Sorry. I just look at these teams and I'm like, But that's my biggest disappointment is the Killer Bee era. That right there is my biggest disappointment if we want to talk about eras. But that's all I got. But I can't wait. Can I say this without y'all getting mad before I wrap up? I can't wait for the day just so I can laugh. Who knows if it will ever happen? I cannot wait for the day that y'all get y'all wish and Mike Tomlin is no longer the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then within 3 or 4 years after he leave, he go to some other team and win a Super Bowl. Oh, my God. Bruh, I'm going to tell y'all right now, and I don't do this. I don't brag. I don't claim to know everything because I don't. Y'all won't be able to get me to shut up. You wouldn't be able to get me to stay quiet if that was to happen. Oh, my Lord. I'm telling y'all right now, if that ever happens, don't come on the show. Because, boy, y'all are going to hate me on that show. I'm just saying, everything is not on the head coach. Andy Reid was a heck of a coach in Philly. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. And it's not easy to win Super Bowls, folks. But boy, I'm telling y'all now, the day that happens, you are going to hate the show that I come in on. I might do the show right after the Super Bowl if he won it. Boy. Have your gripes, guys. We all got them. But I'm telling you, the head man is not the reason why the Pittsburgh Steelers are not winning Super Bowls and or even haven't won a playoff game since 2016. Not him alone. Not him alone. That's all I'm saying. But all right, I'm out. But all right, man, I hope you guys had enjoyed this show, man. It went way longer than I expected. We had an hour. Let me get out of here, man. Love y'all, man. I hope y'all had a great holiday. We shall talk again on Tuesday. Gonna be a long time before we talk again, right? Since we have no football to watch. It's from a Steelers standpoint. My son has AAU tournaments again this weekend, so I'll be busy doing that. But outside of that, guys, stay cool, stay breezy, man. We'll see what happens. Hey, they're in the tournament. Now we got to wait to see where they're going to finish. Is it some slim chance that they win the division? Very slim. But let's just watch and see what happens, man. And I will be talking to you guys come Tuesday for Terrible Towel Tuesday. And we'll see. But outside of that, man, if you haven't already, make sure you, boom, hit that like button. If you enjoy the content, subscribe to the channel, as well as turn on your notifications. Also, make sure you guys stay healthy, stay safe. God bless. Good night. Like always, thanks for tuning in, and I shall catch you in the next one. Peace.